As a child of the 80s, I grew up with Chernobyl as the big nuclear boogeyman. I wouldn't say I've had any kind of obsession with it, but at the very least, I've had an intense curiosity about it. What does it look like 30 years after an entire city evacuates? What was it like to be there in the moment, the panic, the confusion, the hushed whispers and rumors? It seemed like this would be the perfect chance to explore this dark corner of recent history. But Dez, I hear you saying, we want games, not another VR experience. And I get it, I really do. We want the PSVR to give us immersive, interactive gaming experiences that we love. But one of my greatest hopes for the PSVR is the amazing opportunity it offers creators to tell stories in a whole different way. So, a documentary-style experience where we get to visit one of the most dangerous places on Earth and see interviews where survivors tell their personal stories? Sign me up! I wanted to like this. I really did. When we first saw the trailer for Chernobyl VR, I was excited. For me, VR is a way to visit impossible imaginary worlds, or visit places in the real world that are impossible to go to. The trailer went on and on about the great length the developers went to in order to give the user a sense of what it was like to live near Chernobyl before, during, and after the disaster. Suffice to say, the trailer wrote a check this game cannot cash. You fire up the game to find yourself floating over the city of Pripyat with a handful of menu items, let's call them. School, gym, amusement park, Kiev, etc. Focusing your attention and clicking on them loads a new loading area, with new menu items. Unless it doesn't. There's no consistency. Sometimes you'll find yourself in a full 3D environment where you can explore using teleporting and click turning, coming upon audio or video clips you can activate and experience. Or sometimes you'll just be stationary in the center of a big 360-degree image. Sometimes you'll be able to access a guide who gives you the most superficial information about the space you're in. The lack of detail or even coherent narrative could be forgiven if Chernobyl VR delivered on the experience part of the equation. To that end, they use the highest resolution 3D scans available, they use drones, 360-degree spherical cameras, they get special access to areas that were formerly top secret. For no big deal. The 360 sections are just blurry, there's no way around it. It looks like crap. Not only that, it's only 360 video, not 3D. I've used many of the media apps on PSVR, tried many of the VR videos, and chalked up the poor quality to the fact that they stream content. Now, the lack of video fidelity isn't really a problem, or it's at least forgivable in the imaginary worlds of the games we love, but in trying to capture the feeling of a real place, it falls far short. It also fails as a documentary because it lacks interesting details or unique perspectives. It fails at being interactive because, quite simply, it isn't. Finally, it fails at being an immersive experience because the low video quality and inconsistent presentation conspire to remind you constantly that you're just in VR watching a projection. The overwhelming impression of Chernobyl VR is of a project that had grand ambitions and face-planted due to a lack of resources. This could have been a shining example of the potential of VR to educate as well as entertain. Instead, it's one more argument against experiences. On their webpage, the developer, Farm51, says that, "We believe that VR is not only about entertainment. If only they'd remembered that at least some of VR should be about entertainment."